Here's some cool Jeep parts, Jeep tools, and Jeep accessories that we've never been able to show you before. First up to bat, you guys have probably seen these maybe on camera once, but these are not Mopar tube doors, as much as you might think they are. We ordered these on eBay. They sell them for a 2-door on there, and they say Jeep JL Gladiator tube door kit. But just give me 1 second. Let me grab something, Ryan. These are actual Mopar tube doors. They're pretty similar, huh, buddy?
Yeah, they're exactly.
Well, I'll give you a little story here as I'm holding this door up. I have a set of 4-door Mopar tube doors that I wasn't running because I had half doors on my last Jeep. And I said to Ryan, hey, if you'd like to run the front set, you're more than welcome to. As soon as he bought this Jeep, he ran them every day. Well, once I got my 392, I had no more half doors. I wanted to protect the kiddo in the back. So I decided, hey, Ryan, I'm gonna be, give me those back. I need my tube doors. And I was like, let's find a set because you like this look. eBay. I think they were like 180 bucks when we bought them. That's dirt cheap. Now the latches are different. The hinges are a little different, but they're very similar. The texture's a little different, and the latches are not as clean and precise as these are, but for less than a quarter of the price. Figured we'd talk about those and just show you off. So we keep getting asked, what are we gonna use for a compressor solution on our vehicles? We've got multiple rigs. So we've got Ryan's Jeep, my Jeep, trucks, all sorts of stuff that require us to fill up tires. This Milwaukee M18 air compressor I kept seeing pop up, and I thought to myself, this has got to be a good use for the Jeep. Now what I did is I actually picked this up, and then I also picked up a digital tire pressure filler, which you actually don't need with this compressor. But what's cool about this is once you turn this compressor on, this is the coolest thing. So you unwrap the hose in the back. It simply uses a rechargeable M18 Milwaukee battery, so you can go up to a 12 amp hour if you guys are Milwaukee tool guys like I am. But tighten this onto your valve stem here. So we're gonna set this number here to the PSI that we wanna fill to. We're just gonna do 34 for purposes on camera here. And then watch this. It'll automatically fill this up. It's dialing in with that target button. There you go. So what it did, you saw it like ramping up to 37 PSI. It's checking and letting the pressure out. It runs it up to 34 PSI perfectly. So we're gonna have to try this out when we drop down to like 15 PSI. I did it on my 40s and it worked fine, but I really like the fact that I can keep a couple of these recharged batteries and then just walk around and put it on. Like there's nothing, I don't need to have my Jeep running, I don't need to have anything running, and then it just takes a small battery in here. So I thought this was pretty cool, and this is also available on Amazon. That's where I picked it up. Throw it in your carry bag, and now you've got an air compressor too. So it also comes with a couple fills. So if you're like at the beach or you're doing something else, you can fill up your sports balls, you can fill up all sorts of different things with this. So another thing that's kind of neat with this is that I just looked at it. You can actually set memories to these. I just got this like a week ago, but you can set memory PSIs and save them to memory 1 through 4. So Ryan fills up to a certain PSI, I fill up to a different one, my dad does too. You can set it and then just walk around, click on that memory button, press the start button, and it's gonna fill them all up to whatever you set it at. So that's really, really cool. And I gotta say, this thing packs a lot of features and is extremely portable. I like the fact that we didn't have to mount a compressor on board either. That's something I was like, where are we gonna put it? The Jeep has to be running. You gotta have cords and hoses and everything all over the place. This is perfect for us. So this is something a lot of people have been asking about, but we've just been lightly showing it on camera. This Wrangler decal on the back of the Jeep. Now this is a factory 88 to 90, I believe I ordered. A factory 88 to 90 Jeep Wrangler YJ decal. And I thought with Ryan doing some gold accents, once we got it ceramic coated, I'd like to incorporate a little bit back into the corner. So I ordered these. I just put them on and kind of surprised Ryan with it. These were, I believe, 40 bucks a pair, and they can be bought on graphicexpress.com. I've had a few of our commenters ask where we got them, where'd you get those Wrangler decals? They have them in a few different colors, and what I like is that this is a Mopar officially licensed product. And anyways, this is like super fitting for this Jeep because it is a 2-door. We're going with that retro, kind of the tan and anvil, the gold and the anvil color there. And what better fitting for retro than to get the exact OEM. We're not sponsored. I've just bought these from them and wanted to put them on, but just in case you guys wanted to know where we got them, that's where we got them. Here's one that I had saw online somewhere that I don't think it was for a Jeep, but they are using these easy carry rapid storage straps as actual grab handles for their rig. Now I thought this was kind of unique. I gotta be honest with you, because I was like, these things can hold up to 50 pounds. They're typically used to like wrap up an extension cord or a garden hose. But what I saw them do on the internet was somebody used it like right here. And what they did is they wrapped it around this section of the roll bar because their grandma was having a hard time getting into the Jeep. And then you can pull up from there. So I thought that was really unique. You know what I mean? Like, and these, I don't have it wrapped perfectly right now, But then I tried it a couple other spots, and you can actually wrap these, needless to say, pretty much anywhere. Like, you can get a nice tight wrap on that, get this backside up, and like, I don't know, Ryan, it almost, look at that edge. It fits like perfectly around the 24 roll cage. All right, so let's, yeah. I mean, now on a 24, you have your curtain airbags, so it's a little bit more interesting, but I mean, sturdy. I don't know. You could use it on a 4-door or 2-door, any Jeep, anything with a roll cage on the back. Throw your bubba rope, wrap that around your bubba rope, your toe strap, for $8. We got this at our local hardware store. We'll try and find it on Amazon, so if you guys want to pick one up. But we picked up a pair, and I was like, man, that's really cool for what it is, and you can tuck it away. I don't know, sometimes less is more, and this is one of those cases. If your drinks are sweating like we are right now in Pennsylvania, where it's 92 degrees, these Sandstone coasters are really sick. Now, Ryan got these down at Cades Cove Jeep House Post when we were down in Townsend, Tennessee at Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. He's a good friend, the owner of that shop too, so we've actually been chatting here a little bit, and we'll be down there this year for Great Smoky again. But these are actually made out of sandstone, so what's cool is they drop right into your cup holder, and if you have sweating drinks, say you have coffee, you have whatever in a cup that's sweating, this sandstone will absorb it and dry it out, so it's not sitting down there getting in your coins, getting in all that other stuff and really making that like moldy mess. This is gonna prevent that, and it's a cool way to get your logo on there. It's actually neat because it's sandstone, so it's an actual stone material. They've got it really nicely done with their logo on here, which I absolutely love. I think that's so cool. So next up to bat, we've got this really cool Jeep recovery bag that our friend Josh gave us to, he gave us a ton of these down at Daytona. These are the recovery bags that you get from the factory JKs. But if you open it up, it has a product that we've actually never shown off on camera, and that is a pair of these very reminiscent of my last Jeep matching rugged radios. So we picked these up down in Daytona. We had the Baofengs running all the way down through just to communicate back and forth. And when we're shooting off-road, we use these all the time. Those Baofengs didn't work too well, Ryan, when we were in Ocala. Like, we were talking and they kept going, mine kept going like, chuck, chuck. So we picked up a set of these rugged radios. These do detach, but we just got these like official like clip-ons, so I can feel like I'm like a security guard when I'm using this. But it was kind of cool because you can actually just clip these on and then just push to talk and talk through to them. Rugged radio is super bright. We picked this bright color so we wouldn't lose them, and the reception was fantastic. We talked the entire way home. Ryan drove his Jeep separately so we could just communicate quickly, like say, hey, we're gonna get off here, hey, we're not. And these look great, work great on the trails too. So here's one that we never really showed on camera. It's the Powerbuilt all-in-one truck lift jack. So it's actually a jack stand and a bottle jack all-in-one patented solution, and it is a 3-ton jack. It lifts from 11 inches to 21 inches, so we wanted to try it off on the Jeep here. We just haven't really had a chance to need it yet. So let's open this one up and we'll just try and pick your Jeep up, Ryan. Now, Powerbuilt is made by one of our greatest tool companies that work with us here on the channel. And yeah, we're really happy to show off their products as well. So we want to get this thing out. I actually just want to lift up Ryan's Jeep with it and see how well it works. Let's get this thing out. I think it's an awesome solution. It's got, look at how compact that is. And that's everything you need right there. All right, guys, so just like a regular bottle jack, you're just gonna put this in the side. Now, kind of neat about the jack stand is it actually does latch into place too. So as you're picking this up, you can see the safety latch will drop. And I like that it has a welded on flat plate underneath. So that's pretty neat too. Let's get underneath Ryan's Jeep here. I don't think we're all the way under that axle tube, but it's picking up your Jeep, no problem. And what I want to see happen is that drop like that. So Ryan's tire is up off the ground here. The latch has to be down, but then we can let some pressure out of our bottle jack. Check that out. Now it's sitting on the jack stand. So this is now a jack stand. And look, your tire's still up. That's kind of neat. I gotta be honest with you. I knew it was cool when we got it, but seeing it in use, and with a flat bottom like that, you could probably use that on some more uneven surfaces. Then to release it's pretty easy. You just put the safety lock up, make sure you're not under the vehicle or anything else. And then you just kind of release just like a bottle jack would loosen up too, you know? So you just twist the bottom and nice and smooth. Another quick mod that I don't think we talked about too much on camera, maybe we talked about it once, was we threw a set of these Barricade rock rails on Ryan's Jeep. We did this before we took it out for the first time wheeling. Ryan's Jeep was a base sport, so it did not come with any rock rails on here, and we knew taking it out bone stock, wheeling bone stock, we were gonna rub some things underneath here, and we didn't want to hit. So we got some nice rash underneath on some of your stock skid plates, but this is gonna really nicely protect the underside of the body here, as well as give this pinch seam just a little bit more protection. So Bolt sent us a ton of really cool products here. You've probably seen a few of them that we've dropped in videos. We actually used the 2-inch padlock in the back of Ryan's Jeep to secure his off-road mounting box. What's neat is that they make them work with the key. So you actually just put your key into the lock the first time, it synchronizes it to it, and then you never have to find another key. What's cool is that they also sell them for other models. So if you got a Ford, if you got a Chevy, if you got anything else, you just pick the right key style and you get the padlock. So we've got padlocks here. It's locking Ryan's security box in the back perfectly, but they also make a host of other products. So you can see right here, we've got the receiver lock, which we're actually gonna show you a cool spot where that'll go here in a second. A receiver lock here, that does with your key too. We've got 2 of those. And then underneath here, this is actually a complete J mount. So it's actually a jack mount for your Jeep that still works with your key. We're gonna get this on my dad's Jeep. We're actually gonna install this on his, and we'll show you an install too with this. But really cool that you can mount your high lift on the side here and be able to unlock it and lock it with your key. The last one that we've got here is the Jeep spare tire lock. So this one will go on your spare tire. Same thing, works with your key, so no one can steal it. That's really ingenious. And guys, I gotta be honest, my dad's thoroughly impressed with this stuff because he has like so many trailer keys and padlock keys, and you end up losing them. You don't really lose your car keys, and if you do, you have a really bad day. So carry your car key, and that's all you really need to do this. But yeah, let's pop this one out, and we'll show you our next thing you might not have seen on the channel before. So if you guys have been wondering why we haven't been filming in the studio for like a week and a half, it's because of what's behind my Jeep. So let's walk up and take a little closer look of why there's shiplap and wood paneling on this side of a brand new 2024 cargo trailer. But if we pan around to this side, it's probably the coolest thing. So you got nice back on here. It's a drop down, brand new receiver, brand new everything on here. But what's really interesting is over here, Ryan. Just take a look at this. So what is that? You know, well, right now we've got some ginger ale hooked up to the keg, but this is a fully self-sustained, no power needed keg trailer. So it's going to be another channel that we have. It's going to be something that we're going to be putting up, and it's going to be rentals, and hopefully we're going to start selling these too because we've had a ton of interest. But this is the first iteration of it. But watch this. Don't give me for all the foam. Still working out all the kinks of the pour. But that's ice cold there. This is ice cold here. Let's see what all the inner workings are that I fabbed up in the past week. So this is a completely 3,000 pound trailer, weighs 800 pounds empty. But you walk in here and this is a completely self-sustained setup. The first week I wanted to try it out just with a cargo tub and a keg in there, but there's gonna be a trough down below as well. So I cut out the I-beams completely on here. There was an I-beam that ran in through, welded in the whole kind of window section. Shiplap built a custom frame that comes all the way out here and bolts down through to the cross members. But the real magic is inside here. So the keg system, CO2 manifolds are all hooked up and then run through 120 foot of coil inside here that keeps the beer ice cold or whatever beverage you have in there. Completely self-sustaining. You don't need any electricity. It'll just sit here and work the way it is. As long as you have CO2 and some ice, it's gonna go for you. Just wanted to show this off a little bit. We will have a full in-depth review of this on the second channel when it's up here, which should be any day now. So if you guys are interested, if you're a beer enthusiast, you're party enthusiast, weddings, events, whatever you like, this is gonna be kind of something that we're excited about. So next time I disconnect this trailer, I am gonna hook up the bolt lock that goes right through here just to securely mount that hitch ball to my Jeep. It's nice to also make a lock that goes in the tongue here so it actually fits in this narrow hole and gives the same key lock. So I can just use my Jeep key when I'm transporting this and unlock everything, including a 2-inch padlock for the back so no one can get in and tamper with anything. If you guys are like me and remove the bumper end caps as well as the filler panel in the back, Utah Design Foundry actually makes a really cool product here. They make these out of aluminum, give you the gasket, and then you can actually buy the bolts and the C-clips too. But if you take off your end caps for the factory Rubicon steel bumpers, you have this gaping hole in the back here, which all your wiring, the back of your fog light, you can see it. Honestly, it doesn't look finished, it doesn't look refined, and I absolutely hated that look. So Utah Design Factory, they make these right here in the USA. I ordered the front and the rear set. It's aluminum, so it's not gonna rust, and it's just a bolt-on modification. So I decided to do those one weekend before we drove. I think it was before we went down to Daytona, just to close these off a little bit, and then I'll show you the ones in the back. That's if you remove some of the trim work. So I removed that connector piece that goes in between here, and this is the back panel. So that just bolts on nice and easy, and it closes this out as well. Gives you a more finished look, which I'm actually very happy with, and I think that that's what Jeep needed to do, especially with the front bumper. When you pull off those stubby end caps, There's nothing behind there. I think that makes it look finished. The rear, not everyone's gonna do that, but I think it's a good mix in between the two. So I'm not just that strong. We actually built one of these. Check this out, Ryan. I did this without you even knowing it, but my dad's hardtop was sitting outside, and mine I took off my Jeep, but look at what this is rolling on. Look at that custom tan carpet on there. We actually got the idea. There's a guy on Jeep Wrangler forums that built one of these at home. So he got some 2x6s, some 2x4s, and some carpeting and some casters underneath here and built his own hardtop cart. You can do this. I think I might have 60 bucks into each of these. Couple cuts on the saw like that. It holds up your hardtop nicely. It's got these brackets that actually angle it so it doesn't tip off. This little piece in the middle holds it so the glass doesn't open, because you know how that glass can open and swing down. But you can see my dad's Jeep. Look at the top. It's like sitting out in the grass, so it got all muddy. You can't let it sit there and get ruined, but I just thought, what a cool, innovative idea. This actually holds it on the front. You can see how that edge holds it there. And then we just took some scrap carpeting, wrapped the whole thing, stapled it, and screwed it together. On today's viewer rig of the video, we're checking out Wyatt's two-door black JK. Now he sent this over, and this is a good-looking JK that's got almost the old-school homebrew fender chop on there, a nice set of 20-inch wheels, and what looks to be a 35 12.5 BF Goodrich KM3. He's got an angry grille and a front bumper, and honestly, I'm sure he has a lot more plans with this Jeep, but I do have a soft spot for a two-door JK. The gecko green accents look fantastic on the black Jeep, and I think this Jeep has a lot of room to really pick it up, get it up in the air, maybe throw some bigger tires on it. Wyatt, we appreciate you sending it to us, and you also gave us a little hack for how to restore some of the faded black trim plastic, which I thought was a really cool tip for us. Now, if you guys want to have a chance at your rig being featured, be sure to hit us up through Instagram or send us an email. All right, guys, well, that's going to be a wrap on today's video. Honestly, I hope you thoroughly enjoyed kind of seeing the items that we've never been able to show off, or dare I say, really talk about more on camera. Either way, though, guys, we have a lot going on in both our personal lives, in the shop, outside the shop. You saw that we just built that cool keg trailer out there. We've got other businesses, other ventures. Ryan freelances, I've got kids. We've got so much going on that sometimes we don't get to put everything on camera, and we enjoy doing that. So we've got to make sure that we get the parts on camera and show them to you guys. If you're interested in the trailer too, I've got an email down below. I'll drop it. So it's actually named after my son. You'll be able to rent them. We're going to start honestly probably building them and selling them. We've got a lot of interest here locally, but we can ship them nationwide as well. So we really enjoyed making this one. Try and stay cool because the summer season is heating up. But my name's Matt, that's Ryan behind the camera, and we want you to get out there and earn yours.